There was a time in America when Saturday night had a sound. Not a ringtone, not a notification, not a video playing in your hand. It was wheels on wood, a pop song through cheap speakers, arcade machines beeping in the corner, kids laughing beneath colored lights. And somewhere in that glow, a teenager trying not to fall in front of the person they liked. This was the roller rink. And in the 1980s, it was more than a place to skate. It was where Saturday night became a memory. From the outside, it didn't look magical, just a low building near a shopping plaza. A glowing sign by the road, faded posters in the windows, parents waiting in station wagons and old family sedans. But once those doors opened, everything changed. Warm air rushed out. Music filled your chest, and the smell hit you all at once. Popcorn, hot dogs, nacho cheese, fountain soda, a little sweat, a little floor wax. A smell no one could name, but every roller rink seemed to have. The carpet was bright and busy. Red, orange, purple, blue. The kind of carpet that looked like it belonged in outer space. At the rental counter, rows of skates waited behind the desk. Brown leather pairs, white boots with colored laces, scuffed toes, worn wheels, numbers written on the back. You handed over your shoes and got a pair in return. For a few hours, you became someone else, faster, braver. Part of the night, the skates never felt quite right at first. One was too tight, one was too loose. One wheel made a sound it probably shouldn't have made, but nobody cared. They were yours for the night. The carpet felt safe, the wood did not. That first step onto the rink was always a small act of courage. Your wheels touched the floor, your arms went out, your knees bent, and your whole body suddenly realized that walking and skating were not the same thing. Friends laughed, someone grabbed the rail. Someone fell before the first song ended, and everyone saw it. But that was part of the ritual. You fell. You got up. You kept moving. Falling did not end the night. Quitting did. Slowly, fear turned into rhythm. One foot, then the other. Push, glide, turn. Try not to crash. And then, somehow, you were skating. Around the rink you went. Past birthday tables. Past little kids clinging to the wall. Past teenagers in denim jackets trying to look cool. Past older boys skating backward like they'd been born with wheels on their feet. For a child, the rink felt enormous. For a teenager, it felt like freedom. For a parent along the wall, it felt like safe chaos. Everyone came with a reason. A birthday party. A night away from home. A favorite song they hoped the DJ would play. Or the quiet hope that one certain person might walk through the door. Because the roller rink was never only about skating. It was about being seen, circling the floor, trying to look confident, secretly hoping someone noticed. In the corner, the arcade machines flashed and beeped. Pac-Man, Galaga, Centipede, maybe Donkey Kong. There was always one kid who knew every pattern, one kid who slapped the side of a machine when he lost, and one kid asking everyone, "Do you have a quarter?" Even if you came to skate, you drifted toward the arcade eventually. Just to watch, just to listen, just to stand there for a minute with skates on your feet, feeling like the night was bigger than the building. Then the music pulled you back. The DJ booth felt like a control tower. One song packed the floor. Another sent half the room toward pizza and soda. And sometimes the DJ knew exactly what everyone was waiting for. The lights dimmed. The fast song faded. A softer track began. And then came the announcement everyone waited for. Or secretly feared. All right, everybody, couple skate. Suddenly, Saturday night became serious. The little kids rushed off the floor. Friends whispered. Someone pointed. Someone blushed. A few pretended not to hear. A few had been waiting all night. For those few minutes, the rink felt different. Less noise, more nerves. Less chaos, more meaning. Somewhere in that soft darkness, a teenager finally asked the question. Not through a text, not through a message. Face to face. Voice a little shaky. Do you want to skate? That question could change the whole night. A yes, a smile, a nervous laugh. Two people rolled onto the floor together, and everything felt new. The music seemed slower. The lights seemed warmer. They skated side by side, hands almost touching. Maybe actually touching, trying not to look too happy, trying not to fall, trying to remember every second without knowing those seconds might last for decades. Years later, long after the rink closed, someone might still remember that moment. Not the whole night, just pieces. Colored lights, wheels on wood, popcorn in the air, a nervous smile. Someone's hand close to theirs. That is how nostalgia works. It does not save everything. Sometimes it saves only a few seconds. But those seconds stay. The snack bar was never fancy. That was part of its charm. Nachos in a paper tray, cheese from a pump, pizza too hot to eat, a hot dog wrapped in foil, a small soda filled mostly with ice. The tables were sticky. The napkins were thin. The ketchup packets never opened right. Nothing tasted expensive. Everything tasted perfect. Because you ate it between laps, cheeks warm, hair messy, skates still on your feet. It was not perfect. It was real loud, messy, ordinary, and somehow perfect. Almost none of it was recorded. No one filmed every lap. No one posted every outfit. No one saved every conversation. If someone fell and laughed until they cried, it became a story, not a clip. If two people held hands during couples skate, that memory belonged only to them. Maybe that is why those nights feel so precious now. They were not made for an audience. They were simply lived. Then came the announcement. Last song. Everyone knew what it meant. The night was almost over. So you tried to make one final lap count. You skated with your friends. You looked for the person you had been too nervous to talk to. You watched colored lights move across the floor and wished time would slow down. But Saturday night always ended. The music stopped, the house lights came on. And just like that, the magic turned back into a building. Skates were returned. Shoes went back on. Jackets were found. Someone asked if they could stay just 5 more minutes. Outside, cars started. Parents waited by the curb. Friends said goodbye. Someone promised to call. Someone hoped they meant it. Then everyone went home. Many of those roller rinks are gone now. A few became stores. Others turned into gyms. Some were torn down. A handful still stand, quieter than before. The signs faded. The carpets changed. The music moved on. Like so many pieces of old America, roller rinks did not disappear all at once. They vanished slowly, one birthday party at a time. One empty Saturday at a time, one teenager growing up. One last lap, one last song fading out. Today, everything is easier. Music is instant. Friends are always reachable. Entertainment is everywhere. But that old Saturday night still feels different. Being dropped off at the rink, searching for familiar faces, waiting for your favorite song, hoping someone noticed you, skating in circles for hours and never feeling bored. Maybe we do not only miss the roller rink. Maybe we miss the version of ourselves who believed Saturday night was enough. We miss wheels on wood, arcade lights, cheap pizza, fountain soda, sticky tables, scuffed rental skates, the courage it took to ask someone to skate, and the feeling that everyone we loved was still somewhere nearby, waiting for the next song to begin. Because somewhere in memory, it is still Saturday night. The sign outside still glows. The snack bar is still open. The arcade machines are still flashing. The DJ is choosing another record. The disco ball keeps turning. And out on the floor, under colored lights, a room full of kids keep skating in circles, not knowing they are living through something they will spend the rest of their lives trying to remember. So, if you could go back for one night, if you could lace up those old skates, step onto that wooden floor, and take one more lap beneath the disco ball, would you? And who would you hope to see waiting there?